Welcome back, everybody. It's another episode of The Human Side of Marketing. I'm your co-host, Chris Angel, here with your host, Kurt Stockwell.
Hey, it's Kurt Stockwell. Hey, Chris, how are you doing?
Hey, it's Chris. I'm good. It's Chris Angel. I'm good.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to be seen. Good to be seen. We are kind of on a roll here with communication, which is fun. I think that's a big deal. Last episode, we talked about how to avoid, communication failures or breakdowns. And now we're talking about the 1-2 punch of communication.
That's right.
Which I'm dying to know, what is the 1-2 punch? What is it?
What is it? The 1-2 punch of communication. Well, here's the problem, Chris. Often we don't communicate clearly. And now I'm not, people probably know we build websites. We do digital assets mostly for businesses, helping them with their marketing. And that could be, website, email campaigns, blah, blah, blah. But really the communication aspect of finding clarity in your communication, clarity in your marketing really bleeds into everything that you're doing when you communicate your message. So whether that's coming out of your mouth, whether that's in an email reply, whether that's in a speech, whether that's internally opening or starting a meeting with your team. A really good way to get everybody to buy in and know where you're going with your messaging is to the 1-2 punch. One, state the problem.
Yeah.
And 2, offer a solution, and do that in everything you do when you communicate. Because again, the problem is we often get way too wordy when we're communicating, and people start to tune us out. Or 2, we start to get very confusing about where we're going, what we want to accomplish in this meeting or this email, or, in the, when you're speaking at an event. I mean, we've all seen it before where somebody gets up and they're going to be speaking and they're talking about like, oh, this is who I am, and this is where I'm from, and this is, how many kids I have. And, I really enjoy this part of the country because I visited here. I think it was like 7 years ago. We were on a vacation. And you're like, dude, where are you going?
Right.
Let's get to it.
Come back.
Yeah. And why is this so critically important? It's important because people's attention spans are becoming shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
Right? People want to get to the point. What is the point? And so when you can open with stating a problem that everybody recognizes. Again, we've talked about it before, where you can state a problem that the individual you're talking to recognizes, going, oh, yes, I have that problem. Or you make that problem so clear to understand that they go, I don't have that problem, but I know other people do. In fact, my neighbor would be a great, customer for you because they have this problem. And then you quickly offer a solution. So like, for example, when you're speaking at an event, you're going, hey, there's a problem out here in the marketplace, and we're going to find a solution today. And the solution that we're going to find is this. Let's get into it. You opened it with stated a problem, then you're quickly offering a solution.
I think a lot of people, if I'm just going to put myself in the shoes, like last episode, we talked about taking responsibility for our communication breakdowns. If I'm thinking about the creating the problem, I think my attention span as the one creating the content or the message or the email or the whatever, my attention span is so low that I often am like, it takes me too long to think about what the problem is. Like I start to think about a problem and then I'm like, but I don't really know. So then I abandon like the whole mission of finding a problem and then just start with my 7-year trip in wherever. 7 years ago, I would whatever. And I just sort of wing it. Yeah. Rather than actually honing in on a problem, I just wing it. And I think a lot of people are winging it right now.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And like I said, this is more than just your marketing in the sense of traditional, your website or, piece of print material.
Right.
Again, we kind of stated in the last episode, your marketing is like what people are talking about, what people say about you.
Yeah.
Your marketing is during a project where you're delivering your solution. Maybe it takes you months to deliver your solution, like us, building a website can take a few months. During that whole process, people are formulating what's it like to work with this person. So clearly communicating through that process, following up on a lead, get to the point, right?
Right. Totally.
Nobody wants to read a gigantic email, 2-paragraph email where really all you're wanting to do is kind of check in on like a lead, for example, or you're following up, or you're trying to come to a conclusion on something. Maybe you do have an email, you do have some sort of communication that is a little lengthy. So you can use this process in that as well, starting out with, hey, here's the problem, we have a solution, and this is what it is.
Right. Yeah.
So
It's good.
So
I like it.
Really what the human brain kind of really easily gravitates towards, and we've talked about this many times, is using elements of story to communicate. So the problem, when you state the problem, it opens a story loop that everyone can understand.
Right.
And the solution closes that story in an easy to understand way. So as you've, in both cases, it's easy to understand and anyone can understand it. So that's really the gold in any sort of communication in your marketing, is anybody can understand it. Yeah.
If I were thinking, I'm trying to think on the fly with this one. If we were going to do this for this particular thing, right? Like the problem, speaking to those of you listening, the problem is that if you don't identify the problem, people are going to tune out. People aren't going to see how this is relevant to them. And you're going to spend a lot of time and energy in preparation, or a lot of time and money in marketing, only to have people not respond.
Right.
So now I've just opened a story loop by telling you the problem with you not finding a problem is you're going to waste time and money and effort and energy trying to make something happen that isn't going to happen, because people can't find themselves in what you're attempting to do, what you're trying to say.
I like that. The problem is not finding a problem.
It's very meta. It's very meta.
The problem is not understanding what your customer views as their problem. Like you might think that you understand their problem. And then when you get feedback, they're like, actually, really what my problem is this. So you think of it as like a funnel, like a big funnel. The big wide open part is stating that clear problem. Most people can understand, all people can understand what that problem is. And then the solution is you're directing their mind and their heart to understanding that you're going to guide them to the solution. So again, that big wide funnel is the problem that anybody can understand, and you're winnowing down their focus to the solution, and you're going to guide them to that solution. So I have some examples.
Got it. Good.
So websites, when we build websites, we jump into the problem immediately right at the top of the homepage in some of the first copy that you're going to be reading. So we built a website for a roofing company in town. And when you visit Stay Dry Solutions, you will see this. They say, we know that there's no such thing as a one size fits all roof. Every homeowner expects a roof that fits their goals and their budget. That's why you need a roofing company that will listen to your needs, evaluate your situation, and make an offer that fits you perfectly. So the problem is there's no such thing as a single solution for everybody's roofing needs. And one thing that we talked about with them is some people need a new roof because they're flipping a house. They don't care about the 40-year, value of the shingles, right? So and then somebody else this is my forever home, they do care about that 40-year shingle, whatever. And so if they only were out there kind of marketing the fact that their shingles last forever and they cost a little bit more, the person flipping the house is like, I don't want that. I just want to get this house flipped, right? So their problem is different than the person who's got their forever home. So that's why we focused on, the problem is there's not a one size fits all solution to roofs. So we have a solution for everybody. So that's something that you can see on a website, something you can do yourself on your own website.
Yep. Beautiful. What else?
Opening a meeting. Now, we've all been in meetings where the person who's kind of opening a meeting is rambling. I mean, have you ever been in a meeting where you're sitting there with 25 other coworkers and you're like, oh my gosh, dude, get to the point. What are we doing here?
Yeah. Mind numbing.
Yeah. Mind numbing. Exactly. And then people start tuning out, right? So this is just a quick example. We're gathered here today because sales are down. This is so-and-so bringing in an expert, and he's going to help us understand where we need to make changes to better connect with our customers and close more deals. Bob, you have the floor.
Nice.
Right?
That sounds like workshops you do, Kurt. It sounds like you're the expert in the room that's teaching people how to do that. You've done workshops like that.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
You know, and so how much would your team appreciate if you just got to the point? You know,
right?
And you don't have to like posture and puff, or you don't have to go into, you know, how you know Bob and how long you've been working together. And you know what? Just get to the point. You know, people want you to get to the point.
Let's go.
The writing an email. Okay, so this is a big one that there's a lot of different ways reasons why you're writing an email, but one of those things is following up on a lead. Chris, do you have leads that you need to follow up on from time to time? Yeah, I mean, we all do, right? So how do you follow up on that lead where you're not being salesy, you're not pressuring an individual, but you're not also writing a 2-paragraph email that they're not going to read, right? You want to get to the point. So this is something that we do in our own emails when we're following up with people. We say sometimes creating something new online can be quite an arduous journey. So the problem is creating a website, creating some sort of marketing campaign online can be an arduous journey, can be a struggle. We've been helping businesses like yours shoulder that burden for many years using a simple process to create a great solution that connects your customers in an authentic way. And so when we're following up, we're going to say something like that. We understand that maybe one of your hesitations in getting started is you feel like this is going to suck because I don't have time to focus on my marketing. I just want somebody who can take care of it for me and make it simple. And so we want to focus on that. That's our solution. Yeah. An elevator pitch or a one-liner is something that we've talked before about as one of the things that we actually help people do is fix their one-liner. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in just a minute. But some people call it an elevator pitch. I was working with a insurance guy in town who, you know, his problem was, you know, when he's at a networking event and people say, "What do you do?" And you say, "I sell insurance." Right. Those people are like, "Uh-oh." See ya. Yeah. Where's the snacks and where's the free wine? I want to get away from this insurance salesman, you know, but so what we helped him with is an elevator pitch that went like this. Most people worry about how to protect the lifestyle they've worked hard to create. I help people find peace of mind knowing that their assets are protected. So, nice. You know, the problem is people worry about, you know, I've worked hard to create this lifestyle. That's a problem that most people can go, yeah, I've worked hard to get where I am. And the solution is, you know, you want peace of mind to know that your lifestyle is protected. Now, in this case, we haven't even, and this is going into the whole one-liner thing, which that's a whole nother conversation. But in this case, all he wants to do is to have somebody say, "That's interesting, tell me more." Or how do you do that? "Oh, well, I work for, you know, fill in the blank insurance company," or I have an insurance agency. And they're like, oh, okay. You know, so started with the problem, quickly went into a solution, and then you're having a conversation. Right. Totally. Yeah. Love it. Yeah. Really good. So really good. There's a bonus. There's a final knockout punch. We got the 1-2 punch. Problem a bonus. Solution. Is this a third punch, or is this like a booster to the second punch? This is the knockout punch. Okay. And it seems so elementary, but the knockout punch is have a clear call to action. You know, right. Often in our marketing, we, if you've done a good job communicating the problem and solution, if you don't have a clear call to action, people don't know what to do next. Even in your, you know, your email follow-up, you know, when we send email follow-ups, like, hey, to get started, you know, what we need to do is this, you know, or the elevator pitch, you know, when you're speaking with that individual and they're like, wow, that's so interesting. How can I learn more about what you do? You know, have a really easy way already thought through that somebody can schedule with you. One thing that I love, especially in a digital scenario where you can provide a link to somebody, link a calendar tool that somebody can pick a time to meet with you that works for their schedule. There's a lot of different calendar tools out there. That's a really nice one. And then on a website, of course, make sure there's a clear call to action button, like schedule a call, schedule a free consultation, whatever that buy now button is. So that last punch is the clear call to action.
It's funny because a lot of people, if you get through the part of being able to articulate the problem, which is a skill in itself, like learning how to articulate the problem, understand the problem, and then articulate a solution, it makes total sense to invite them to take action in something. And a lot of people just don't, I think partly because we're afraid to appear pushy or afraid to assume that they want to take action or work with us. But if you've done the problem right and the possibility of solution right, what happened, and then people are looking for how to take that to the next level.
Right. Absolutely. And another thing too is another aspect of that, Chris, other than like, I don't want to appear pushy. I think often we think people know how to connect with us or how to take the next step.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You're like, oh, well, people just know they give me a call. No, not necessarily.
Right.
You have to tell people where you want them to go, lead them where you want them to go.
Yeah.
A clear call to action does that.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, I love it. That's so good. I think everybody listening to this could start to look for or audit their own messaging. Like look at your print material right now, look at your, like even down to like, look at your business card right now. Does your business card state a problem and a solution with a call to action?
Yeah.
Right. Do your meetings have that? It's so great because everybody listening to this can find themselves somewhere in this, someplace to improve based on this episode.
Yeah. We're going beyond just traditional marketing and all your communication.
Right. I always say like, marketing is a conversation. Marketing is just a conversation. There's all sorts of places we have conversations. We have it in Facebook ads. We have it in podcasts. We have it in team meetings. You have conversations, even like print advertising or print material is sort of a conversation. Like I'm saying something to you and you have an opportunity to say something back or not. But anyway, so love it. So good, Kurt. So good. The human side of communication.
Yeah, there you go.
If people want to learn how to take this to the next level by working with you guys, you have several ways that you can help people.
Yeah. So if you want to connect with me through that calendar link that you can use to find a time that works with your schedule, go to clarifymymarketing.com, schedule a time to meet with me. We'd just be happy to have a no obligation conversation about where you're stuck in your marketing. Often we find that one of the biggest things that we do for people, more than just creating websites and different digital assets, is helping them understand truly what is the problem that they're solving. I've said it often that your business is just 2 inches away from your face all day long, every day. And so you start to get confused about really what problem you're solving. And so an outside person coming in and going, explain to me what you do, how you do it. So really the problem you're solving is this. And often there's been these light bulb moments where the companies that we're working with are like, oh yeah, I guess that really is the problem that we're solving.
Yeah. Nice.
It's much, much more than, because here's the thing, Chris, people, we want to market to people's brains, but in reality, people buy based upon their emotions. And that's like their heart or their soul or their center or whatever you want to call it. We want to market to that. And truly connect with them in that way. So clarifymymarketing.com, you can schedule time with me there. Of course, welldressedwalrus.com is where you can see some of our work that we've done. The human side of marketing is available anywhere you get podcasts. And we are actually, we have a thing called the one-liner workshop that we're going to be doing consistently here in the Spokane area, just holding classes where in about 45 minutes, you can fix your marketing, one of the most important pieces of your marketing message, which is, what do I say when people ask, what do I do? That often opens up that initial path to closing that deal, is that initial conversation you have with somebody when you clearly state, what do you do? Some people call it a one-liner, some call it a pitch. But if you went to onelinerworkshop.com, you can see when the next class is available and come in.
Nice. I love it. Good. I like it. I like it, Kurt. Thank you. Thanks for bringing us into another realm of communication. I think that's really important when it comes to the human side of anything. Communication is at the heart of all of that. So thanks again for a great episode. And until next time, take care.
Thanks, Chris.